Hi guys, welcome back. So, throughout the whole last week, I have been saying that I found my new EH, my next winner, and that is Luokung Technology, ticker symbol LKCO. Me and my Discord members started to buy around 67 cents, and then I posted a video on Wednesday, February 10th, to give you an in-depth analysis on why I'm so bullish on Luokung, at the same time address you the risk. And I did a follow-up video on Friday, February 12th to fully address the risk. As you know, I have loaded the boat here and here and here. And this morning, when I share my portfolio to my Discord, and it seems like everyone was surprised how big of a position I've got for a penny stock. Now, I said this in my channel many times that I usually don't put more than $10,000 in a penny stock unless I find something very exciting. And as I have addressed several times, I am very excited for the potential of this company. So right now, I have more than 180,000 shares of LKCO, and I will tell you why, in despite of the big risk, I have still established quite a large position on this with no exit plan. Even if it's surge, I would not sell out, and I don't have a stop loss. I'm gonna explain more about the technology of this company, so hopefully you understand why I believe in it so much. In my first video about Luokung Technology, I really kept stressing on the fact that the technology is a full vector map, but I really didn't see response about this. I think a lot of people are overlooking this. So I want to explain more about what's vector. I learned the difference between vector and image long time ago. That is why I knew the potential of it right away. And in order to explain this concept, I'm going to show you an example. So here is an example of a simple letter A. The one on the left, it's full vector. The one on the right is full image. Now we compare. So here it is. After I open the two files, the vector is on the left and the pixel is on the right. The pixel is the image, right? So you can see the difference between vector versus image, okay? Now you might think they look identical to you, but wait until I blow them up. Let's see. Let me try to blow it up as big as I can. So you see? You start to see these grids, it starts to get blurry, right? They're starting to become pixelated, so it makes a blurry edge. Now let's try on the vector. You see? No matter how much I try to blow it up, it's still crystal sharp. It has no pixel, it's not blurry, it's still precise. You still see the edge is very sharp. It's very precise, right? So that's the difference between vector and image. Vector can be blown up to be unlimited size and it will be sharp and 100% precise. Versus the image, there is always a limit of the precision. So it matters when it's at the large scale. Okay, now you know the vector can be blown up unlimited and pixel has a limit of precision. Now let's check their file size. So the vector is 57 KB versus the image is 201 KB. So the image is about 4 times the size than vector, while the vector can be unlimited and the image has a limit of precision. So this tells you the difference between vector and image is that vector can really be crystal sharp even when it's blown up at a very large scale while keeping the size of data minimum. So this is the technology that's used in Luokung's full vector non-slice map technology. And this is what they call a new HD map solution, because the HD map using vector technology would allow it to be much more precise while keeping the data at a minimum size. And as I explained, the role is one of the most complicated things that change by second. You have many complicated things and objects and human and vehicles on the road. That's why keeping a high precision while keeping the data minimum It's achieving this spatial temporal database in real time. It means even though all of this information is changing by second, it still can process in real time and give real-time guidance and response. Sure, what we just compare is just 50 kb versus 200 kb. But when it comes to a whole city, that's a very large database. When it's spread to so many applications, as I talked about last time, not just autonomous driving, but also the Internet of Things, the AR technology on the road, and the million sensors on the road happening in real time by second. Can you imagine the size of the data accumulated? So when it can significantly shrink the size of the information, it would make a world of difference, I believe, when it comes to a large scale of data for a city. Because in the future, we'll have more and more applications, more and more sensors, more and more autonomous vehicles, drones, objects, robots, sensors, and they all matter. And this would make the vector technology more and more important, I believe. Especially when I was reading about Luokung. As we all know, XPEV, they really emphasize on the XGP assistant drive, especially about the overtaking, choosing the best lane, switching on highway, going up and down the ramp, switching lane for emergency, etc., under the help of high precision map and navigation. And in my first video, we know that Luokung is working with Luokung technology. So it's possible that Luokung might just be one of the secret sauce of Luokung right now. And if that's true, many EV companies would like to work with Luokung for their technology as well in the upcoming future, especially international brands. Because right now, a lot of the foreign companies cannot scan the map in China. So if an EV company want to get in the market of China, they need to work with a local company like Luokung. I see a lot of potential contracts coming. We know that they already signed Geely and BYD, and there will be for sure more and more like this. There might be some bigger contracts that we don't know yet because it might be confidential. It might be something Luokung cannot release to the public because there might be non-disclosure agreement. After the first video on Luokung, I saw some of the comments saying that the autonomous driving is mostly based on each individual car more than the whole environment. I would say it's both. It's not only based on the response of individual car because there are so many things happening in the road, and the in-vehicle autonomous drive is not enough because to ensure a safer environment that's beneficiary for everybody, there will for sure be need for vehicle-to-road communication, as they would publish these live data to the online map in real time, which reflects the real-time changes in the map of other vehicles. So it's vehicle-to-road communication and also vehicle-to-vehicle communication. It is the collaborative communication to ensure a much more safe environment and protect everybody and everything in the whole environment. Because the driving intention of each vehicle is aggregated in order to give the next minute comprehensive analysis and collaboration. So this is to address the difference between the two for why we need this technology and the communication for each party, including non-vehicles with sensors. So that's for autonomous driving and vehicle-to-road communication. But there's also demand for the remote sensing data and the Internet of Things, as well as the drone delivery that I talked about last time, the drone delivery and the air taxi. Like I said, the AI technology, the drone delivery, the air taxi, the new retail, the smart home, the Internet of Things, the wearable device, everything would be connected by this kind of technology because it opened up the possibility to connect and process so much data that's fast changing by second. Everything is connected together to function, to be integrated, to perform in a smart way. Now, I'm not saying Luokung is the only one with this precise map technology. A few other players are also working on it. They also had significant breakthrough. Baidu is one of them. I'm sure there are different in each technology, but I know Luokung is one of the leading players in China now, and there is big market and big demand for this. So at this point, I'm not worried about competition when the market penetration is so low. So I dig a little bit into Yihang's technology on their high precision location. Yihang used this technology called RTK GPS. This is different technology than GPS. It is short for real-time kinematic positioning. It can be as precise as centimeter and let every drone to not touch each other within 5 centimeters, theoretically. So what's the difference between RTK and GPS? We all know GPS is a satellite navigation technology. But RTK GPS means that because the GPS technology is not precise enough, so it has added on top the measurements of the phase of the signal's carrier wave, in addition of the signal that relies on a single reference station from the satellite. So RTK GPS is more advanced and more precise than the GPS. So to put it in simple words, I would say it is an upgrade of traditional HD map method versus Luokung to be a completely new HD map solution on top of an approach of collecting while using, synchronizing to the spatial temporal database in real time, and reduce the cost of HD map acquisition. So in comparison, I would say Luokung's technology seems like a new and smart solution for HD map for faster data process. But I do think the vector technology is more precise and more minimum data, so it would be more optimum. But I'm not sure if someone like Yihang would change to that technology. But I think even if they don't, other drone players might as well. This will open up so many possibilities for the vehicles to connect to the AR technology, for vehicles to connect with human with the wearable device, for vehicles to connect with smart home, for vehicle to connect with Internet of Things, for drone to connect with human, for AR technology to connect with new retail, for drone to connect with AR technology, etc. Everything would be opened up based on the fast collaboration of data from multiple platforms. In the future, we will live in a very smart ecosystem, very smart environment. Because of this, everything is connected together. So this is why I am super bullish on this company. The moment I saw it, I knew it's my next EH. I knew it would be my next winner. And I think what I have realized, maybe the Wall Street has also started to realize. That's why the share price has exploded sooner than I expected, because the institutions just keep on buying it. Then I think it's really just the beginning of it, because very few people know about this right now. So I don't think it's driven by hype or FOMO. You might wonder why there's no buzz around this even after such a crazy jump up. Why isn't everyone super excited about this company yet? I think it's because it's quite difficult for retail investors to understand on their own the breakthrough of the technology and the massive application because of it. And this is why it usually would need the media to blow it up, to do the kind of comparison, to make people understand what kind of technology it is and how it can change our life. By doing many kinds of comparison, explanation, like what I just did to you. And it was the same thing for QuantumScape back then. For QuantumScape, ticker symbol QS, it was quite obvious back then. So we know the technology of the solid-state battery back then, but it did not affect the share price because retail investors have difficulty understanding on their own the importance of this technology and the huge breakthrough until the press conference. And even more after the media started to report about this, because in the press conference, they would give out a lot of the academic information that normal people have hard time to understand. But when the media report about this, it's totally different because they would give out the comparison. For example, it would take 15 minutes to charge 80% of battery. To put it in simple language and adapt to our life, it can let people start to understand it in a more simple way. and then people would start to grow their belief. But then you will realize by that time, the share price has already gone up so much, and then it would create FOMO. And this is exactly what's happening right now with Luokung technology. No one is talking about it. No media is blowing it up the whole time. The technology was exactly the same from the beginning, but because no media was blowing it up, retail investors cannot understand it on their own. That's why they turn out to be chasing in the end. And this is exactly what's happening with Luokung right now. Because no media is saying how good the technology is, that's why people would have a hard time believing it. And on top of that, there is political risk behind this. So it creates even more fear. So right now, we might be still in the stage of no belief and fear, even during this run-up. And that is why I went really heavy into buying shares of LKCO last week, because when there is so much fear, it's time to be greedy. But with that said, I still think right now we are not able to address the political issue. So you do need to be aware of the risk. Even though I have a large position, it is not anything I cannot afford to lose. When you invest in this company, you need to tell yourself whether you can accept to lose this investment. And I might continue to average up. If you haven't got in or you haven't bought enough, and you are fully aware of the risk behind this investment, this would be my strategy. Let's say I'm willing to put X amount of dollar in it. So I divide it into 10 portions, and I would continue to put in it every day or every time it increase or decrease 10%. So every time it increased 10% or every day, I can put in 10%. And every time it decreased 10%, I would put in 20%. And if it drops 20%, I would put in 30%. And this can go on. The more I dip, the more I buy. This way you can continue to add while lowering the risk to continue average up or average down. So that is what I want to elaborate more about Luokung technology. I hope it gives you a better understanding of the technology behind it and why I'm so bullish on this company, and at the same time be fully aware of the risk behind this investment. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give me a big like and leave me a great comment, and I will see you tomorrow. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my video helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.